Before it's even hit the shelves, Omid Scobie's Bombshell new royal book, Endgame, has already caused a stir in royal circles.
Well, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex come off positively in the new title, but writer Scobie insists he's not on the Sussexes' payroll and is not a close friend of the couple, as previously reported. Well, talkTV's royal editor Sarah Hewson joins us now to tell us more. Good morning, Sarah.
Morning, Meghan and Jeremy.
What do we know about this book?
Full disclosure, I haven't read it
Ah!
yet. It is under wraps until tomorrow and a closely guarded secret, unless your People magazine in the United States, Paris Match in France...
Did you not fly to Paris or America to get a copy, woman?
Well, I've read the excerpts of the book, and from what we know so far, and Omid Scobie has started doing interviews around this and been talking a lot about the book. So let's talk about some of the claims that we know are being made in it. In the book, Omid Scobie claims that there were two people within the royal household. That's not just the family, that's the wider household, that raised questions about Archie's skin colour, and that the King and Meghan exchanged a series of letters after the allegation was made on the Oprah Winfrey interview discussing this. They didn't necessarily see eye to eye at the end of the exchanges, but they did both feel that they'd been heard of it. King Charles branded Harry that fool after the Netflix series, Scobie claims. He apparently quotes an aide saying the show took the wind out of everyone's sails. The King went from not wanting anyone to talk about his son to openly criticising that fool. The Princess of Wales, Kate, spent more time talking about Meghan than to her. She affected a comedy body shiver whenever Meghan's name was mentioned, according to Scobie's book, and that she and William found the mocking of Harry and Meghan on South Park hilarious. Some of the more damaging claims, he says that she's frightened of anything more than a photo op, that the media infantilise her, that she has a lower bar set for her than anyone else. She's praised for doing something as basic as comforting a child, for example. It goes on.
I wonder what their reaction was to their own portrayal in South Park.
Yes, there's an interesting quote in the New York Times, because what we have to say is, look, this is one side. This is Omid Scobie's version of events, and we're not going to get the royal family's version of events on this. They didn't comment on Netflix, they didn't comment on Spare, they're not going to comment on this. The New York Times has read the book. Its review says much of this has been heard before. Whether or not Scobie actively collaborated with Meghan and Harry for the book, because it does
he says not.
He says not. He does them no favours. Their chapter reads like a press release cooked up by ChatGPT and does little to shed light on them.
But that's what comes with... If he hasn't spoken about his book, and they are, in fact, nothing to do with this, the problem is he's been their voice piece before, so everybody will assume that he is spouting what they want out there, right?
His previous book, Finding Freedom, that they collaborated with him in court. Meghan then had to admit that, actually, she had instructed aides to brief.
How long would it take you to read the book?
I'm quite a quick reader.
Because Nick is off on Wednesday and Thursday for a very good reason this week, and you're with me on Thursday to do the show. Will you have read it by Thursday? Can you do that for me?
I'm going to speed read it.
How'd you do that?
I don't know.
How many pages is it? About 40?
I think it's quite a few more than that.
Is it? And what about sales? It goes on sale tomorrow. Spare was huge. I never admitted this to you, Nick. I bought Spare.
Did you?
At the airport.
Oh.
I haven't read it.
Okay.
I literally, it's one of those books you buy and you put on the side of your bed because you look really intelligent, or not, in my case, in front, and I haven't read it. It's just gathering dust.
I got proposed to halfway through reading Spare.
What was it?
What did you just say?
That's bizarre.
Well, Nikesh was acting strange and he said he needed my phone. And I was like, OK. So I gave him my phone, so I had nothing else to do. So I started reading Spare. And then he said, can you come into the kitchen? And then he proposed to me, so...
Did
he used my phone to film it.
Did he, as a real man, did he get you to cook his dinner first before he asked you to get ready? Look at her face, I love that.
Thank you
Thursday, then, can we talk about it in more detail?
Yes, we can indeed.
People are fascinated, very quickly. Do they have a right to be fascinated, or are we bored? Is it just much of the same?
Look, I think there's been an awful lot about the disputes between the Sussexes and the royal family. I don't know whether people are going to go out in their droves and buy this, whether it'll be under the Christmas tree. That depends. But it is out tomorrow, and, of course, it is going to make a splash.
Is your Christmas tree up?
My Christmas tree is not up, but my wreath is on my door.
Yeah, agreed.
Everything.
Same with
3
me.
Christmas trees, did it all this... Well, I didn't. I took the kids out. Vic did.
Of course you didn't do it, because you're a proper man.
For me.
Right, thank you so much to Sarah Hewson for
I did the
joining us this
washing.
morning.
She mended everything.
I'm just going to carry on.